Thunderstorms are a spectacle of nature, with flashes of lightning illuminating the sky, loud cracks of thunder rolling across the horizon, and sudden gusts of wind rattling windows and doors. For humans, thunderstorms can be exciting, calming, or sometimes alarming, depending on the individual. For dogs, however, storms are often a profound and intense experience, triggering a cascade of emotions, instincts, and behaviors that can leave owners bewildered or concerned. Have you ever noticed your dog hiding under the couch, trembling uncontrollably, whining, or frantically pacing when a storm begins? Perhaps you've seen them cling to you desperately, seeking comfort and protection. The truth is, dogs experience thunderstorms in ways that go far beyond simple fear. They react to a mix of sensory overload, instinct, emotional sensitivity, and learned associations that make each storm a deeply personal event for them. Understanding what dogs feel during thunderstorms is essential to providing support, empathy, and reassurance, and it can reveal just how complex their emotional and sensory worlds truly are. From the moment the first dark clouds gather on the horizon, dogs can detect changes that humans barely notice. Their senses are finely tuned, with hearing far more sensitive than ours, able to pick up frequencies and volumes beyond human perception. A thunderclap that startles a human may register to a dog as a deafening roar. Even distant rumbles or the faint crackle of lightning can trigger alertness or stress. Dogs don't just hear the thunder, they feel it vibrate through the air, their paws, and their body, creating an immersive sensory experience. This heightened perception means that storms are not merely an audible event, they are a full-body experience, engaging every nerve and reflex in their system. But it's not just sound that affects them. Dogs also respond to atmospheric changes that accompany storms. Drops in barometric pressure, sudden humidity shifts, static electricity in the air, and even faint changes in scent can alert a dog that a storm is approaching. Their noses can detect the subtle smells of rain, ozone, and even shifts in soil and vegetation caused by lightning strikes. This sensory bombardment is unlike anything humans experience consciously. For a dog, the entire environment signals that something unusual and potentially threatening is happening. Their instincts, honed over thousands of years of evolution, kick into high gear in response to these changes, preparing them to respond to danger, even if the threat is mostly symbolic in a domestic setting. Fear during thunderstorms is often compounded by emotional memory. Dogs, like humans, learn from experience. If a previous storm caused them distress, frightened them with loud thunder, or created a traumatic reaction, their anticipation of the next storm can intensify anxiety. Some dogs may develop what is known as storm phobia, where even the mere hint of dark clouds or the first distant rumble triggers nervous behaviors. Others may exhibit milder reactions, pacing or whining intermittently, while still seeking comfort from their human companions. Each dog's response is shaped by genetics, personality, past experiences, and their level of socialization, making every storm reaction unique. One of the most common responses dogs display during thunderstorms is physical distress. Trembling, shaking, drooling, pacing, hiding, or seeking closeness to their human is often a direct expression of both fear and the body's preparation for a perceived threat. Their fight or flight response is activated, releasing adrenaline and other stress hormones. This response is not unlike a human feeling panic or extreme anxiety. The dog's body is preparing to act, even if there is no tangible danger in the living room. Owners often misinterpret these behaviors as stubbornness or misbehavior, when in reality, the dog is navigating an overwhelming sensory and emotional storm. Many dogs will actively seek protection during thunderstorms. This can manifest as climbing onto your lap, curling up against your legs, or attempting to enter confined spaces that feel safe, like under a bed or behind furniture. These behaviors reflect an instinctual desire to find shelter, maintain safety, and regulate emotion. Dogs are pack animals, and in moments of fear, they instinctively look for the most secure presence available to their human family. Your calm, reassuring presence becomes a stabilizing force, offering both emotional security and a physical anchor in a moment when the dog feels vulnerable and exposed. Interestingly, dogs process human emotional cues during storms more acutely than in ordinary situations. They can sense whether their human companion is calm, anxious, or fearful. A person's tone of voice, body language, and energy profoundly influence how the dog navigates the storm. If you panic, raise your voice, or show fear, the dog may interpret it as confirmation of danger, intensifying their own anxiety. Conversely, remaining composed, offering gentle touch, and speaking softly can help mitigate stress. This emotional attunement demonstrates the remarkable empathy dogs exhibit. They are not just reacting to environmental stimuli, but to the emotional state of their human companions, mirroring, amplifying, or responding accordingly. Different breeds and personalities experience thunderstorms in unique ways. Sensitive breeds such as Border Collies, German Shepherds, and Greyhounds are often more reactive to sound and environmental changes, displaying heightened anxiety. On the other hand, more stoic or laid-back breeds may notice the storm but remain relatively unaffected, relying on confidence and temperament to manage the situation. Individual personality matters immensely. Even within a breed, one dog may be terrified, while another seems to barely notice. Puppies and younger dogs are often more impressionable, while older dogs may either grow accustomed to storms or develop reinforced anxieties based on cumulative experience. Behavior during storms often includes what humans perceive as odd or quirky actions. Some dogs pace in tight circles, others bark incessantly, and some engage in self-soothing behaviors like licking paws or chewing toys. These behaviors serve multiple purposes. They burn excess adrenaline, regulate anxiety, and give the dog a sense of control in an environment that feels overwhelmingly unpredictable. It's important to recognize that while these behaviors may be inconvenient or confusing to humans, they are adaptive strategies for the dog. By giving them space, comfort, and gentle guidance, owners can help channel these behaviors in safe and productive ways. Interestingly, not all responses are fear-driven. Some dogs exhibit excitement or heightened alertness during storms, especially if they have learned to associate storms with attention or activity. Owners may inadvertently reinforce certain behaviors by offering comfort, treats, or reassurance only when the dog is visibly distressed. While this can be a positive bonding moment, it may also teach the dog that anxiety is a tool to elicit attention. Awareness of this dynamic is essential for managing storm responses effectively without reinforcing extreme fear or dependence. Sensory overload during storms also explains why dogs often prefer small, enclosed spaces or even clothing items with human scent. A blanket, a favorite bed, or your lap provides a concentration of familiar smells that ground them emotionally. Dogs rely heavily on scent to navigate the world, and in moments of acute stress, surrounding themselves with comforting scents provides reassurance and a tangible sense of safety. This is why having a designated safe space during storms, a crate with soft bedding, a favorite blanket, or a quiet room can reduce anxiety and make the experience less traumatic. Training and desensitization can significantly impact how dogs experience storms. Gradual exposure to storm-like sounds, combined with positive reinforcement, can help sensitive dogs learn to remain calm in the presence of thunder and lightning. Treats, calm interaction, and environmental adjustments like closing curtains or playing white noise can reduce the intensity of the dog's response. Over time, these strategies teach dogs that while storms are loud and unpredictable, they are not inherently dangerous, allowing them to regulate their emotional response more effectively. Understanding dogs during thunderstorms also reveals their capacity for empathy, intuition, and emotional intelligence. They not only process sensory input, but evaluate context, interpret cues from humans, and adjust behavior to maintain safety and emotional equilibrium. This complexity demonstrates that what might seem like simple fear is actually a sophisticated integration of instinct, experience, and emotional reasoning. It's one of the many ways dogs are profoundly connected to the world around them, and to us as their companions. Social support plays an essential role. Dogs rarely experience storms in isolation in natural settings. Historically, pack members would huddle together for protection. Domestic dogs retain this instinct, which is why human presence is so critical during storms. Sitting quietly beside your dog, speaking softly, or allowing them to lean against you replicates the pack environment, providing security and comfort. The physical closeness reassures the dog that they are not alone, mitigating the physiological stress response triggered by loud noises and environmental changes. Physiological reactions during storms are notable. Heart rate may increase, breathing can become rapid, and trembling or shivering is common. These responses are part of the body's natural stress mechanism, designed to prepare the animal for potential danger. While these reactions are adaptive in the wild, in domestic settings, they can be distressing to witness. Recognizing that these behaviors are not intentional misbehavior, but biological responses helps owners approach the situation with empathy and patience. Interestingly, dogs also show long-term associations with thunderstorms. Some dogs may hide at the very first signs of dark clouds, while others remain calm until the first clap of thunder hits. These differences reflect both learned experience and innate sensitivity. Puppies often require more guidance and reassurance, while older dogs may either become habituated or develop reinforced anxiety. Understanding the timeline and triggers for each individual dog allows owners to implement effective coping strategies tailored to their pet's needs. Some dogs may engage in preemptive behaviors when they sense a storm approaching. Restlessness, whining, circling, or seeking out secure spaces can occur minutes or even hours before a storm begins. These behaviors demonstrate remarkable predictive abilities, likely tied to environmental cues like changes in pressure, humidity, or scent. Dogs are not merely reactive, they are anticipating, evaluating, and responding to complex signals in their environment. It's also important to recognize the emotional bond that strengthens during these stressful times. Dogs who receive calm, consistent reassurance during storms often deepen their attachment to their human caregivers. The shared experience of navigating a frightening environment together fosters trust, security, and mutual understanding. Conversely, neglecting a dog during these moments may reinforce fear, insecurity, or mistrust. Empathy, patience, and structured support are crucial for maintaining both emotional and behavioral health. Finally, thunderstorms reveal the depth of canine emotional complexity. Dogs don't just experience fear, they assess risk, interpret human cues, engage in self-soothing behaviors, anticipate environmental changes, and form memories that guide future reactions. Each storm becomes a microcosm of their cognitive, emotional, and sensory capacities, a moment where instincts, learning, and empathy converge. Observing and supporting a dog during these times offers insight into their intelligence, sensitivity, and profound capacity for emotional connection. Understanding what dogs feel during thunderstorms transforms the way we interact with them. No longer should trembling, hiding, or whining be dismissed as mere exaggeration. Each behavior is a window into their world, an expression of instinct, emotion, and perception. By observing, empathizing, and offering appropriate guidance, we validate their feelings, strengthen the bond, and help them navigate one of nature's most overwhelming experiences with security and comfort. Next time a storm rolls in and the sky darkens, take a moment to watch your dog carefully. Notice their posture, pacing, attempts to seek comfort, and ways of self-soothing. Speak softly, provide calm reassurance, and allow them safe spaces to cope. These moments reveal the intricate tapestry of canine emotion, intelligence, and trust. Understanding this connection not only helps your dog manage fear, but deepens your appreciation for the subtle, sophisticated ways dogs perceive and engage with the world. If this video gave you a new perspective on your dog's storm-time behaviors, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more in-depth canine insights. Share your experiences in the comments. How does your dog behave during thunderstorms? Do they hide, cling to you, or show surprising calm? Every storm is a story of instinct, emotion, and the profound bond between humans and their dogs.